But like we gonna get into the real when y'all come up over here, man. So put your big boy pants on when you come over here, folks. For real. Put your big boy pants on and we gonna get into it straight like that, folks. But definitely hit that like button for the boy if you here for a good time, not a long time. You ain't here to stay, hit that like button, man.
Value Christ over your life, man. What's good with y'all? I just wanted to get out here. It's something heavy on my spirit. I hope that y'all like the video, share the video, because all of us are going through it. All of us are literally, we meet in battles that deeply we want to be able to overcome it, but it's something that is keeping us from prospering. It's something that's keeping us from being able to take that next step. What might it be? Like for real, what might it be? Whether it be in job, in your workforce, or you purging out a sin that you might not be wanting to operate in every day. You know, but really it's mainly for that next jump. That you feel me, that next level in your life, that you know that you have the capabilities, you have everything inside of you, you have all the wants, the desires, and what it takes to, you know, prosper in that area, but you can't even get there to start to show that you belong. You feel me, in those ways, in your areas in your life. And I think that, y'all, we got some spirits being latched on to us by what we are doing in the flesh. And what I'm saying is that I believe that we can't prosper and go forth in our everyday lives because, you know, it's spiritual. It's like you want to get that job, but on your way, it's just so many things internally that literally keeps you from walking into that new life for yourself, you know, from walking into that life of prospering, bro. And I think that it has a lot to do with the things that we do in our because if we can't, you know, start to prosper, then that must means we have a demon, we have a spirit that is of the fallen angels, of that sort, of the deities, of the wickedness, of the unrighteousness. It's dwelling in us. And I don't know how it is being latched on, how it is staying latched on, but it has to deal with something that we are doing in our everyday lives. And I think it's when we get to the point of about to, you know, get to that new level and we don't, and we run to the same thing that we think is being the freedom or being an outlet from the world, but it's that same thing that we run into for that little moment of peace. That is the reason why we cannot prosper, because these demons need to get us back in the position in which they came to us in. So a point of chaos, vulnerable, stress, depression, or you just being low on yourself. Because once you get low on yourself, you're gonna run to that, whether it be masturbating, whether it be buying sex or selling sex, whether it be smoking weed or getting drunk. I believe that these things, these spirits, they need us at a low frequency. They need us to be hurt and the chaotic, vexed in the spirit. They need us to be vexed in the spirit, you know, feeling beat down already about the world, for us to just run to it, but not knowing that that's the very thing, that very, what we use as an outlet, that outlet is what's keeping us chained to these spirits that won't let us prosper. And I hope that y'all understanding me, because I'm talking through my own, you know, I'm talking through my own problems, but I know we all, the saints, we all going through the same thing. And I'm a man of God. I love God. And so, I pray and I do so many different things. But in certain areas, I don't see a change. And I think it has a lot to deal with when we get to a low point, what our flesh starts to desire is, because these fallen angels, they have the power. They have power to sway our hearts. They have power to communicate with our flesh. In the spiritual warfare is literally hid, because we think that if it's on our heart, it is for us, that we thinking it, that we are feeling it. I mean, can't you feel the depression? Man, when you want to masturbate, and it's like your flesh want to masturbate, but spiritual you is like, I'm tired of masturbating. But your flesh like, come on, we could do it again. You remember how we feel? Remember the moment of intensity, the moment being breaking up? This is the lies of the flesh, and then it's hurt. It hurts because we want to grow, we want to but we got to start to look at these outlets, these coping mechanisms that the world have wanted for us to get attached to, because if they didn't, they wouldn't promote it. You know, weed, liquor, all these things are promoted and are you know, literally people, you know, want to take heed and want to dig deep into those things when we are at a low point. So why, when we are already hurt, we already vexed, we already feeling, you know, through being done with this world, do we run to a substance that the world gave us to break us free of the world? See, it's making the flesh feel as though it's not being of the world, but it's harming your spirit. Because the more we continue to let the flesh desires be fulfilled, our spirit will never be able to overcome what the flesh wants to do. And if we walk in the flesh, we are not of God. We need to be holy, separate from walking in the flesh. I know it is hard because we are in the flesh. But yeah, man, I'm going to keep it short right there and that, man. But what y'all, man, tell me, how do y'all feel, man? But just understand that it's something in your life. It is something that you are meddling with that is getting these demons. It's giving them the rights to take out whatever desires that they want, whatever filth, whatever unrighteousness that is in them. They need us at a low point and to run to these things for them to get the because we're not, man. Think about when you masturbate or you do these things. Is it pleasing you? Because I don't think that I'm pleased when I run to these things. I don't think that I'm filling a void, but I think that I'm digging a deeper ditch. Spiritually, I think it's digging a deeper ditch that the flesh is in and my spirit is in. And it's like my flesh just so stupid, it's so blind that an instant gratification, it thinks that it's receiving love, or because the feeling is a feeling of goodness in a way, sexual is a feeling of goodness. My flesh thinks that it's what is needed for me to be able to feel, you know, free from the grips of this world. But those things literally put us even more under the grip. You know, it's a spiritual, it's a spiritual something going on with what I'm saying, and I can't pinpoint it. But you know, I just wanted to get out here and speak this. Like, we gotta be mindful. We gotta be mindful of the things that we run to cope with. That's basically it. Be mindful of those things, because it's probably what you're using to cope with that is the reason why you can't prosper. And because we use it as something to cope with, we don't see it as the problem, because we run away from the other problems and we run to another one. But this one we don't think is a problem, because when we do these things, we can't feel or see those other problems. But the moment that it wears off, the effects from that wears off, we're now back in that problem. And when you think about it, that which you are trying to run to is also now a problem. I don't know, maybe this can only be understood spiritually, but value Christ over your life, man. The spiritual warfare is kicking up. This is why we don't need to take advice, listen to advice from the world. We don't need to listen to advice from these soothsayers. We need to seek out the word of the living God, because without that, you will never be able to understand the spiritual. We'll never be on the route to even learning how to deny the flesh, learning how to walk in spirit, understand spirit, talk spirit, be spirit. But value Christ over your life, man. I hope that this video can help you understand that it's probably the coping mechanisms at which we run to that is causing and allowing for these demons to torment us in a certain area of our lives. So we are to be watchful, we are to be diligent, and we are to be sober-minded. And it ain't easy, but through God and through He who lives in us and is greater than he who lives in the world, we can do all. Value Christ over your life.